Please don't tell me the truth. There's this moment when you realize the thing you've been standing on isn't as solid as you thought. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's the relationship you swore was unbreakable. One day you look down and there's a crack in the foundation. And the scary part, that crack was probably there the whole time. I've been thinking about how we build our lives. We put so much energy into creating a home, a partnership, a future. And when you're young or hopeful or in love, you don't notice the tiny fractures. You convince yourself that you just have to work harder, love stronger, keep carrying more weight. Everything will hold. But foundations don't lie. If there's a crack, sooner or later it shows. But sometimes it's a big collapse. Sometimes in the little ways. Resentment is in your chest, exhaustion in your bones. That voice that whispers, this doesn't feel safe anymore. Here's the awful truth. The foundation can break even when you've given it everything. And when that happens, it doesn't mean you failed. It means the structure wasn't built to hold the weight of who you are becoming. That's been the hardest thing for me to admit. That maybe it's not about me fixing the crack, but about asking, do I still want to build on this ground? Because no matter how much plaster you put over it, a weak foundation will keep showing its fractures. So I've been learning to stop pouring cement into broken ground, to stop pretending stability is the same as silence, to stop gaslighting myself into thinking the crack isn't there, because it is. Instead, I'm asking new questions that I invite you to ask yourself as well. Where can I build more where my roots won't be shaken? Who stands next to me and helps reinforce the walls? And most importantly, am I building for me or for the version of me who thought being needed was the same as being loved? If you're listening, maybe you've seen your own cracks. Maybe it's in your job or your family or your relationship. And maybe you're exhausted from holding it all together. And here's the truth people don't always want to hear. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to admit the ground is shifting. Not so you can collapse, but so you can choose where to plant yourself next. Because cracks aren't always the end, you know? Sometimes they're just the beginning of something stronger, truer, built with your whole self in mind. So if you've ever looked at your life and realized that the cracks were showing, I want you to know it doesn't mean you failed. We're taught to hide the weak spots, always, to not be vulnerable. Because, what are people going to think? So we patch them up so no one notices. But the truth is, the cracks are proof that you've lived, that you've carried weight, that you've survived. They don't make you less. They make you real. And that's the truth we don't always want to hear. The cracks don't mean you're broken. They mean you're ready to rebuild. Now go ahead and tell the truth out there. Dalma believes in you. Don't tell me the truth.